Linh-chan and Dimi-chan play games. Hello everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Chan-chan.
So, I'm now playing.
Yes, Dimitri's now playing because I suck. I kill us so many times.
So maybe we'll make a little bit of progress, but we'll see. Oh, we have to collect the rabbits again.
Oh.
Did you know that Lynn's parents have rabbits?
No, we just had one rabbit that they gave away, and the joke is that since Dimitri's dad eats rabbit, the joke is that it probably got eaten by some Vietnamese family since it was given to a Vietnamese family.
And Vietnamese families eat everything? Is that the joke?
Yeah. It's a delicacy.
Well, I do know that my grandpa used to raise rabbits specifically to eat them. Like he had a bunch of them in a cage.
They're so cute.
And outside, and he'd feed them all year round.
Anyway.
And he would then.
You're going way too fast for me to even like collect those stars.
Oh.
Anyway, last time we were talking about fugu, how they taste like chicken.
Oh yeah, so when we were in Japan, like a few years ago now,
yeah.
I really wanted to try it. So we went to this random sushi restaurant in Osaka, and they had fugu. So, I got a chance to try it, and I tried it in two ways. So I tried raw fugu, which is just like sashimi slices. And I don't know if it's like preconceived notion of what fugu is or not, but it was kind of like eating red snapper, like as far as the texture goes, but it like makes your tongue a tiny bit numb because of the neurotoxin that is laced with that throughout the fish. And then I got to try it as fried fish, like deep fried. And
the deep fried one really did taste like chicken.
Yeah, it did not look like chicken, nor did it have the texture of chicken, like it was fish textured. Yeah, but it tasted like chicken.
Yes,
and like I know everyone says everything tastes like chicken. This actually did taste like chicken. Mm-hmm. There's no way of describing it other than that. And other than that, it was fun, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Japan's fun.
It was. They had a lot of crazy stuff.
Of course, when we went, we decided to go during the winter.
Oh yeah, that was my great idea of the year. I was like, I've never had Christmas anywhere else except in America. So I wonder what Christmas is like in a different country. So I'm like, oh, let's go to Japan during winter.
It'll be so romantic.
Yeah.
We'll have this thing called a season.
Which I wasn't prepared for. Like, we knew it would be cold and there would be snow, so we bought, like, clothes and stuff like that, like winter clothes.
I knew what I was getting into, by the way.
No, California winter clothes. But when we got there, we had to buy clothes from over there because the stuff that we brought from California was not good enough for that winter.
Mm-hmm. Japan was like, oh, what a cute sweater. How quaint.
Exactly. It was freezing.
Mario just ate one of her children. And he's like, woohoo!
But yeah, it was definitely an eye-opening to see a different culture, especially for me. Mm-hmm. You know, since before I met you, I didn't really know anything about the Japanese culture. So going to Japan was definitely an eye-opener for me.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Everyone was just so nice, you know. Of course, they had like their weird stuff, you know. Uh-huh. But everyone was just so nice. It was so peaceful over there. Like that feeling that I got when we were over there was just so peaceful. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah, it's not a stretch to say that Japanese people are very, very polite and very, very nice and very, very willing to help you. Yeah. In any way they can. And that is a nice contrast to. Hey.
Definitely.
Nice
like I remember I think it was like mid-trip, we had a reservation with an onsen, like a very traditional Japanese onsen. So there's
so
like,
that's a hot spring for those who don't know.
so then like, you know, and it was like in this very small town, but that place is so like popular. And like we had like a 5-course dinner meal that lasted for like 2 hours. You know, it was like very elaborate for it to be like a hotel grade, you know? But the thing was that like, since it's an onsen, you have to, you know, it's all about hot spring and like the public bath and stuff like that, you know, taking a bath, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not used to that idea. I wasn't used to that idea. So when we were there and Dimitri was like getting ready, getting in his bath kimono or whatever, and then like walking down, I was so scared because I've never been in public like nude, just showering with other people.
Yeah.
So then like,
that's another thing. So in Japan, there are public baths, and everyone goes naked. It's not like you bring a bathing suit or anything with you when you go in.
Yeah. Which to me, it's a very bizarre concept because like when I think of Japanese culture, I think of them as like being so reserved, so, you know, like they keep to themselves. But the idea of like just going out in a public place, being nude among other people, and you know, it's not something you do. Those are something you do in private, you know. So it's such an opposite thing. So I find that very bizarre.
I guess I need to talk to him first.
You don't have to. He's just telling you.
I killed all the enemies, and he's like, "Oh, one of the enemies is a key."
Maybe that one. But anyway, back to that onsen. We were. So Dimitri was getting ready, and so then we took the elevator down to, and then you know they split off male, female on one side, and so Dimitri sort of like just kind of got, and I didn't know Japanese really, even though I took classes, I didn't really know Japanese. So then like Dimitri was like, just go, like, you know, go through there, and then you should be able to know what to do. So then like he left me, and he went doing about his thing, and then I was like standing there. So then I was like, okay, fine, I'll just go through the curtain, you know. As I started walking towards the doorway where there's a curtain, I saw like a pair of like butts. It was like an old woman like right at the doorway. And I guess the curtain wasn't pulled all the way. So then like I saw her just standing there like naked, and then like I freaked out. So I ran outside. Well, I didn't really run, but like I hurried back outside, and I didn't know what to do. So I kind of just stood there, and I was like, I wanted to go get Dimitri since he's in the mail, and I was like, am I allowed to go in? I just want to tell him, like, because I don't have the key back to our room, and because you held on to the key. So I was so scared, and I was like, I can't just like, I don't want to go back in there, you know, because I'm so uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, I just went into the guy's side, and I was just relaxing, trying out all the different bath waters, because I had a whole variety, of course.
Yeah, and I was standing outside, like, getting really scared and nervous and uncomfortable, because I just saw some old lady naked, you know, in public, and I'm supposed to go in there and join them in this water, you know. I'm sure it's clean and all, but it's just a weird thing, a weird concept, you know.
Meanwhile, when I got out, the one of the ladies that was working there, she went and found me, and she was like, your friend, she went back into the room.
Yeah. So what happened was, after I went outside and I was trying to figure out a way to get to Dimitri, one of the staff there, he was this old man, one of the staff there saw me just standing there, and he was talking to me in Japanese, and he was like pointing at the entrance to the female bath section, you know, and I was like, I was shaking my head. I was like, no, you know. So he didn't know what to do with me. So he walked me out to the lobby area. He walked me out to the lobby area, and then he said something to the woman at the counter. And then afterwards, I was like, I don't have a key. So then she walked me up to our room and let me in. So I guess that afterwards she went and found you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my advice to anyone who has never been to a public bath before and who happens to have glasses necessary to be able to see anything, just take your glasses off. If you can't see anything, no one can see you. It's like the ostrich who buries its head in the sand. If you can't see them, they can't see you.
Yeah.
We rescued a star.
When you're flying with a star.
Yeah. Well, that's what Mario's about, right? Is collecting all the stars.
Yeah. But yeah, they were very nice though. I was really scared and they were really nice about it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they were thinking to themselves like, oh, this white girl. Well, I don't look white, but she's like probably thinking like foreigners. This foreigner, you know? So I end up using the bath inside the hotel, our hotel suite instead. So it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. The food was a real trip, though.
The food was really good. Yes.
So before we got there, they told us, hold on, I need to figure out where to go. So before we got there, they asked us, so what do we want to have as like the main course? And they had as options, essentially Wagyu beef, which is like Kobe beef, for those who don't know.
Like very high grade beef.
Yeah.
Like the meat is so marbled with fat that it just sort of melts in your mouth. That's how good it is.
Yeah, not like a blob of fat, but perfectly mixed in.
Yeah, perfectly mixed in.
Anyways, so we'll get to that. So there was the Kobe beef. There was
king crab, which what I had,
and abalone. So not really wanting to experience sea slug for the first time, I figured I'll go for the Kobe beef, and Lynn went for the crab because she really likes crab. So anyways, when we get there and it's time for dinner, they come in and they prepare the whole room just for like dinner. So they move all the beds aside, they prepare a table, and they prepare like this very elaborate whatchamacallit, like placemat.
Yeah. Like they set the table. Like we said, this place.
It was like it was a 2-hour course.
This place that we went to was very sort of like a high end onsen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it was full service, so it was really nice.
And they gave us a menu, but
it was all in Japanese.
For the life of me, it was not only all in Japanese, but it was all in like, a calligraphy of like Chinese characters, and I could not for the life of me read that. I can read a little bit of Japanese, but not that much.
Yeah.
And especially even if I could read a little more, it was illegible to me. It's like if someone wrote in cursive for the first time and you've never seen that before, kind of idea. So not really understanding what the menu was saying. We just went ahead and dove in. And so they first brought out like a whole bunch of different appetizers and
they're
like
mostly
all sorts
like
of things.
Pickles and stuff.
Yeah, there were like
they're
pickles.
Really big on that.
There were like a little soup with like a meatball in it.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of sashimi, and then there was rice, of course.
There was rice, yeah.
And then they brought out the things that we chose. So for me, it was Kobe beef cooked on a stone. So they brought the raw Kobe beef out, and then they set up like a stone. These are the okay. I don't remember which one. So is the one that's green the one I did, I guess? So I don't have to go back there? New galaxy. Oh, it's new. And I can't go over there. Okay, so I guess I have to. Any case. Yes, it's undeniable. There's star power over here. Why is this thing? My remote spokesman. So yeah, so they brought out like a little fire with like a stone on top, and then you can cook the meat on the stone. And I know this is probably an overused phrase of like melts in your mouth. This actually did melt in your mouth. Like imagine butter just melting in your mouth. That was the meat. So it was really, really good. And then Lynn, you got the crab, right? So they brought out a similar kind of set up. Don't headbutt me. Collect stars for me, okay?
I'm trying to.
So, they brought, whatchamacallit? They brought the crab out for Lynn. My friends are ahead, hurry. So they... so that they brought the crab out and, help me here.
They brought the crab out and it was like a similar setup. And what I didn't like was that, they often cook with sake.
Uh-huh.
And I have a very sensitive nose. So then, like, everything sort of bothers me, you know? So the fact that they like soak it in sake and then cook it, I didn't like it very much. So I end up like stealing Dimitri's Wagyu instead.
It was good.
Yeah.
So
But
if we ever
overall-
go back, we're both getting Wagyu.
Yeah, but overall it was a very nice experience. It like I said, it was definitely an eye-opener to experience a whole different culture from what I grew up with, you know? In America, it's like so different, you know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So for me, that was definitely worth the trip.
Uh-huh.
How do I even get to those stars if you keep moving? See, when I played, you were able to collect all the stars because I wasn't moving as fast. But if since you're playing, I can't collect any of the stars.
Here, collect.
Stay in place, stay in place. There
Oh,
you
this
go.
thing is killing me.
I collect the stars. I collect the stars. I don't know about you, man. I did my part.
Let's get the coin.
Ooh. But yeah, when we went to Japan, I was still very new to the culture and their cuisines and pretty much everything about Japanese culture. And so, like, we were there for a month. We decided to travel the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, we would stay in each city for like a couple days and then we would take the bullet train to a different city. So we were moving non-stop. And like by this 2 weeks in, I was just so tired of Japanese food. So then like
She was like, I want pizza.
yeah, so then like I started like wanting American food again. So then they had like pizza, which are so expensive. They had McDonald's over there. They had KFC over there. So
We
like
didn't get KFC though.
we did not get KFC, but then like I got a burger. I got a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Man, the burger tastes exactly the same as the burger here. So I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they probably just froze the thing and then ship them over and then like just heat it up. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So it tasted exactly the same, but it did satisfy my craving for that day.
Hey.
And now that I'm back here, now that we're back, I'm like always craving Japanese food.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, once you taste it, it's...
yeah.
Like, when we were over there, I kept on wanting to get, like, ramen.
Yeah.
And Lynn was like, oh, do we have to get, like, ramen?
Yeah, I didn't like it. But then, like, coming back here, it's like I'm always wanting to eat ramen.
And the whole time, too, I really wanted to get, like, beef bowl. Like, gyudon.
Yeah.
But Lynn's only experience having beef bowl was at, what's it called?
Yoshinoya.
Yoshinoya over here. So she was like, why would I want beef bowl? That's, like,
The
nasty.
most disgustingest thing ever.
So, of course, the one time I have beef bowl and she tries it is towards the end of the trip, and she's like, I want more of this.
Seriously, my only experience with Japanese food was from Yoshinoya, and I got a beef bowl, and it was not good. That's the only Japanese food experience I've ever had. So then when we went to Japan, I was like, "What is all this that you want us to eat?" You know.
And going back to that hot spring place, I remember.
We went to a couple.
But I remember specifically. Well, it tells me I have no more battery left.
You're.
My thing is dying.
Oh.
I'll charge it next time. But I do remember that the dessert was
Oh yeah.
honeydew melon.
Yes, a slice of honeydew, and they made it they made it seem like it's so important. It's such a delicacy, but freaking like a melon here, it's like $1. You know.
Yeah.
But when we were over there, a freaking melon was like $20 for a melon, a normal size melon, and and I'm not even talking about like watermelon size. I'm talking about like a cantaloupe size melon, and it was like $23 for a melon.
Nice,
and
pretty.
They had a lot of, and as we travel further up north, there were a lot of melon flavored stuff. So
yeah, like we got melon flavored ice cream because it was like famous in that region.
And there were like a lot of snacks that were all melon flavored. So I guess it's either maybe because it's winter, so they don't have fresh stuff, or it's not in season, so that's why everything costs so much. It's either that or that thing's crazy. It's either that or really like they have to import those things because they can't grow them or whatever, you know. But everything was so expensive up north. Like all the stuff that you would think should be cheap because it's cheap here in California, it's so expensive over there.
Yeah, like we saw grapes, like a bag of grapes for $63.
Yeah, we did, and we took
like $20 apples.
Well, the apples, it's understandable because they had such a big thing with apples. Like apparently, I think one of the greatest apple in the world is grown in Japan. You know, where like a case of apple could measure up to like people would bid on them, like up to like $1 million, like millions of dollars for just like a dozen of apples. You know.
Oh, we'll tell you more about the apples next time. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Chan-chan.
Bye-bye. Linh-chan, Dimi-chan. Linh-chan, Dimi-chan, Linh-chan, chan-chan. Linh-chan, Dimi-chan, Linh-chan. Dimi-chan, Linh-chan, Dimi-chan. Linh-chan, Dimi-chan, Linh-chan. Dimi, Linh-chan, Dimi-chan.